You know, I want to talk about legacy, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to be left, isn't it? You know, your legacy. And the dictionary talks about money, generally, real estate, money, possessions, when it refers to legacy. And I think, yeah, okay, that's good, you know, but there's things that are much more valuable than that. Much more valuable than that, you know. So, what's more valuable than that?
Probably what you pass on down the line.
Yeah? What?
Well, you want it to be positive and building people up beneath you type of things. So
Yeah.
that would be legacy.
Yeah. All right. Give me a word.
Wisdom.
Okay, that's good. What else?
Impact.
Culture.
Values.
Yep.
Rituals.
Yep.
Encouragement.
Yep.
Mission.
Environment.
Yep.
Impact.
Yep.
Honesty.
Yep. All those things. Whereas, you know, we're all going to leave something though. We're all going to leave something. We're all going to leave an impact, something. But, you know, particularly when it comes to, you know, people that are around us, I don't believe it's what we leave them. I believe it's what we leave in them. What we leave in them. From spending time with you, me, what are you leaving me? What am I leaving you? Yeah? Not possessions. What am I leaving in you? It changes it. What am I leaving you? You spend 3 minutes with me, what am I leaving in you? You spend 20 years with me, what am I leaving in you? Yeah, some things are taught and some things are caught. You just catch it in there, in your heart, you just catch it. You can't explain it, you know? You catch it. There's things that have been left in me. You know, there's things that I can't even explain how I learnt it. I just caught it. Yeah, I think that when you start doing that, that's a different legacy that you're leaving. That's where you're impacting the world. And we all got a choice. We all got a choice. You know, I remember Janae, she was probably about that big, and my older son, he was probably about that much shorter at the time, and I'm doing in my strength, I did amazing. In my strength, so I thought. I should add. So I thought. Houses, business, all the new cars, the yada yada yada. You know, all those things that maybe the dictionary talks about. You know, and I had a moment. Light bulb. Who's had a light bulb moment this weekend? Yeah, I had this light bulb moment. Michelle comes, brings the kids, bringing me lunch or something like that. This job site, I've got brickies working, labourers and what have you running around. I'm barking orders. It was more like a training session for those poor blokes. And I've had a job. Those in the stairs every day. 8 hours. I had blokes say, I've never laid this many bricks in my life, Gav. They turn up, get out the car. Kids go over to the sand next to the mixer. This bloke goes to me, ha ha ha. Oh, he'll be a bricklayer one day. Oh, won't be long. And it just flipping hit me. Hang on. Because I knew, you know, like when I had kids, I realised, I've got to lift my game here. You know, you've heard me say that. They start doing what I'm doing. I thought, that's it, I'm changing. I don't want him. I know how flipping hard this is. I know flipping, you know, I made a decision that day. Literally in that moment, I said to myself, I'm changing. And literally it was like 150 houses at a time. It was like a license to print money. And I'd just walk up and down motivating people. That's what it was like. I was having a ball. You know, I was doing the gift. It always works, yeah? and I'm going to change. And I made it, I said to myself, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm changing things. And I finished that job, and I never went back. Done. Blokes that working for me, I had two blokes who was like two gangs. I gave them all the gear. I gave them the contacts. They're still working for those builders today. They changed their life, you know. I never went back. I purposely gave everything away, so there was no back. Burn the boats. How do you take the island? You get on there and you just burn the boats. There's no going back. That's work. That's what I did. Going back, I probably would have done it a bit different. But that's what I did. That was the conviction in me, you know. And I burnt the boat, and the process, you know. The biggest mistake I reckon blokes make is one thing is they don't think about the legacy. Because I even know a bloke, you know, a couple months back talking to him, going through a hard time. Young family, 47, young family, you know, going to get going someday, one day. Had a stroke, dead. You know, I just think, man, 49, I'm on borrowed time. Mate, this is, you know, like that, dead. Motivator. So, but the biggest mistake I reckon blokes make is they fall into the trap of comparing themselves to other blokes. If you're, which I believe you are, unique, designed with a particular plan, a particular purpose, it would be a mistake to compare, wouldn't it? Yeah. A shame? Yeah.
Everyone's on a different path.
Different mission. Different.
Different circumstances.
Different. You can't. It's like comparing apples and oranges. They're both good. You know, when I think about legacy and we think about, you know, what am I leaving in the people around me? What am I leaving in my children? What am I leaving in the people that I love? Yeah, not what I'm leaving them, what am I leaving in them? You know, and for quite a while I've been, I mean, I speak a lot of things, you know. What you guys have seen this happens every day, whether you're here or not. Got me little fluid army, you've seen a few of them. Don't have a choice, you know. But they're catching it. They're catching it, you know. They're catching it. And one of the biggest things that I want to leave behind, my legacy, is influence. You know, even this morning I heard it, you know, Mick said it. I think Mick said it. Caught something, I can run with that. You know, Mike is catching something, yeah? Run them with it. Everyone's catching something, run them, leaving something in you. I think it's a different concept when it comes to legacy. What am I leaving in people? And I have this, you know, one of my things when I think about legacy, I think about mates, I think about friendships, men that I love, and I think about influence, you know, something that, you know, I've been speaking to my kids about for quite a while, quite a few years, about being the wealthiest, most influential family in this city. The wealthiest, most influential family in this city. It's no good having influence without wealth. We've got influence and money. We can back what we're saying. Yeah? I've got this vision of the Prime Minister ringing me up and asking me, hey, can we help in this area? Can we do this? And then I can see, I've got this vision of my 100 closest mates, right? Being the wealthiest man in their cities. Yeah? I think that's how we can influence this country. That's how we can influence the world. We can lead. You know, when we see a need, we can actually, Prime Minister calls me. What can you do about this? We need help. Is that too big? No way. Is that worth my life?
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know, I got this vision. You know, I'm thinking about legacy here. You know, I love the old Godfather. Yeah, the Don Corleone. Sitting at the table. Yeah, his wife, and for me, the 7 families. 5 son-in-laws. You know, 2 daughter-in-laws, all with their missions going on, and together, we're doing it together. What I'm leaving in them, well, the world changes. They're here to change the world, all the world that they've got influence over. That's worth my life. That's worth sacrifice. That's worth hardship. That's worth the pain. That's worth getting uncomfortable for. I'm going to have to go out to the unknown. I don't know anyone who's doing that. You know, but you know what? Possibly nobody saw it like that because they're not me. Because they don't have what's in me. And the way that you're thinking, nobody's got that because they haven't got what's in you. And in you, and you, and you. Yeah? So could it be your legacy, your responsibility to your legacy is to flip and dig a bit deeper? You know? What do you think about that? What's going on for you blokes? What do you got? What do you think about that, mate?
You're 100% correct.
Yes.
You know, did you see what I seen yesterday? In about 30 seconds, 60 seconds, my Janae, did you see her speak?
Yeah.
To you blokes? Huh? She's talking to 25 grown men. And she's grabbed hold of the authority that in her, she starts telling you what to flip and do, how to do it. And just quietly, probably doing it better than most of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm raising, you know? And I go through all my kids, but, you know, just, why? They know who they are. They're getting to know who they are. They know it's okay. They you know, do they care what people think? Yeah, kind of. Not that much. You know, not that much. Not enough to take them off their mission. So what am I leaving in them that's enabled them to have the boldness, the confidence to be able to do it? What are they seeing? Their parents do, their mother do, their father do.
Really pushing in a positive.
Even the crap's positive. We can learn from the hardship. You know, like even, you know, like yesterday talking, I mentioned something, and it's easy, you know, you can get snippets of stories. And I went back and mentioned again, but one thing that I do, and, you know, business has changed a lot, but when I used to do it the old way, I'd get a lot of cash, right? And I never want my kids to have a poor mindset, you know? So one of the things, hey, I'm making this up. I mean, I'm testing this out. One thing I used to do, and they've all caught onto it, whereas when we get paid, you know, sometimes a lot of money in cash, I'll get a wad, say, hands behind your back, and I'd slap them in the face. You know, not hard, but just yeah, it's a bit of a tradition. So every time I walk,
Like ringing the bell.
yeah, give me a little, you know, all of that. That's what's on offer. That's just one snippet. All right, who do I have to become? What I'm really saying is, what value do I need to bring to the world? What value? You know, the value comes back. You give that value, the value comes back. What value? Mate, that's why they're such good flipping earners. They've got the mindset. They're not thinking, you know, what am I going to do this weekend? They're catching a legacy. What am I leaving in them? Different ball game. Different ball game. And you know, like, the other side of it is when don't have any money, right? Like I said yesterday, done an event, instead of making 40, I lost 15. Share the pain, the hardship, flipping heck. Or at the gym, flipping landlord locked the doors. This is good. You know, how am I going to handle this? You know, that's the sort of father I am. You share the good and the not so good, because I think it's important to get up again. It's important for them to see their old man get up again. What am I leaving in them? Yeah, not am I leaving. What am I leaving in them?
We talk about Jay's story, right? What he talks about is when he come home to see you and your missus crying.
Yeah,
About money.
there you go. There you go. There you go.
If you didn't
Shared
share
everything.
That, he hid that.
He wouldn't have fired that grunt
That's
up.
what got him going. So,
Yeah.
Case in point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have fired him up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the worst thing I reckon I can see people do is shelter their children.
Yeah.
You know, like in when I was over in Vanuatu in that rite of passage, the boys from age 4 start to go with their fathers. You know, to start to work from age 4. You know, a lot of, you know, I mean, when we talk about what happens in this country, flipping heck.
Some of them still in nappies.
Mate, some of them still in nappies at 20. Really? They could get a nappy on, they flipping would. Emotionally, you know, they're in nappies. You know, legacy, you know, we talk about, so I got this vision, you know, of what I'm going to leave in them. You know, create something that outlives my life. Create something that my children will benefit from. You know, I think maybe you heard me talk about this before, but this must be, I don't know, 20 years ago. And I'm listening to Zig Ziglar, his book. I'm thought, oh, there's a podcast, I'm listening to that. And I'm listening to this stuff for maybe, I don't know how long, a year? Then I realised on his podcast, the bloke's been dead for years. He's dead. I thought he was alive. I'm listening to him, I'm thinking, mate, this bloke, he is. Yeah. He'd been dead for years. His son was running with, had created a podcast for all his old man's recordings. And then they'd listen to it and then they'd talk about it. You know? It was like he was there. He was living on, living past his death. I thought, that's something. And this day and age, with all the opportunity, I mean, that's what I'm doing. So I can see my children benefiting from my life. Well after I'm gone, I can see my children's children benefiting from my life, how I'm living. I can see their kids. I can see my kids' grandkids benefiting. I plan to just flip and, you know, just continue to make things that my kids can flip and run with in their way. And like, for you know, like a couple of my kids, how do I say this? They're susceptible to going rogue. I mean, you've heard me son, he's just flipping it. He's just anti-flipping everything. you know, apart from the most important thing, following his heart. And that's all he's got to get that one right, follow his heart. Go all in and follow his flipping heart. Make a way. So my mission is to include everyone else's mission. Not to include, but to be a part so everyone benefits. You know, that's one of the things for me. You get involved with me, you benefit. Your family benefit, your people, everyone benefits. That's the thing. Could you imagine if everybody... So I'm thinking, my top 100 mates, and they all got the same thing happening. Everyone benefits. Flipping change the world. Yeah. Most influential people in this country. Most influential people in the Western world. That's where I live my life. Flipping heck. I had this vision a long time ago, maybe 20 years ago. I'm in this C3 Oxford Falls thing, and it was a men's weekend, and I had this picture of the Titans Stadium. Everyone been there? It holds about 30,000 people. I thought, let's do something there. Let's fill that joint. That's something. Imagine doing that 3 days, 5 days, I reckon men would come from everywhere. That would change the world. Imagine that. You have 30,000 men on fire, on pennies dropping. Straight away, you got at least 30,000 families getting helped. Yeah. Then you got maybe 30,000 businesses. Maybe out of that you might get 1,000 men flipping. Hang on, this is worth my life.
We have validation at the end of it, Gavin.
Of course. You could not.
$30 here, Gavin. That's only 1,000 each. We've got to go.
There you go. Not what I'm, what am I leaving in them, in the people I love? Different than the dictionary says. So I can see Janae Top. I mean, you've seen her. She's got to be the CEO. She's got to run the show. Every one of my kids has a different gift, a different talent, but together, everything works there. Every one of you guys has a different gift, a different talent, but together, your families, the people your people who you've got influence over, they've all got different gifts and talents. Imagine if everyone just lifts up a level.